Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here with Christmas in February, and for this hop, this is the 25th of the month, and so on the 25th we create a Christmas-based layout, and so I'll have the description, in the description box I will have the list of everyone who's participating. Now for my layout today, I am using a really fun color combination of this teal, which is evergreen bough, and reds and pinks. So those are the primary three colors that I'm going to use for this layout, and I love these colors together, especially for this Christmas layout. The first thing that you see me doing here is creating my background, and I won't say it's a cheater method, but it's definitely the lazy way to do a mixed media background. I really just put some of the ink on my mat, added some water, and then simply laid my paper through that ink that I put on my mat. Now I could have lightened this slightly, and I kind of wish that I might have gone this round. I really love how the whole layout turns out regardless, but if I had actually gessoed the paper first and then put it through that paint on, or the stain on my glass mat, I could have had a slightly lighter background color. It does get a little dark, or the teal is quite dark. Now I do cover quite a bit of it up, so that, certainly helps, but I could have had it or been able to sort of work that mixed media around a little bit had I gessoed. So that's a note if you don't want it to quite be as dark as this, because it just basically is going to automatically sink into the paper immediately. But I do love how it turned out. So if I had gessoed it, I could have pulled up a little bit of that color, but I am pretty happy with how this layout went together overall. And so the first thing, now I have my background done, and I did add some stamping with a stamp that just was a whole bunch of numbers 1 through 25, I think. I don't think it went any further than that, but I just stamped that for some added texture in the background. And now I've just taken the pattern papers that I pulled from my stash, and there's a few that are just scraps, and then I have a full 12 by 12 in that red and white stripe. That's going to be sort of where I would have normally had a piece of cardstock. I'm going to use that to mat that background that we just created. So I am first going to take those pattern papers though and just mat my 2 photos. And I have my 2 photos here, and they are, one is of a cookie and one is of a Starbucks coffee, and they are both from Starbucks. So those are the snowman cookies that come out at Christmas, and then I have my Starbucks coffee. So I'm just, of course, documenting some of my favorite treats at Christmas. And now, because my background is still off to the side drying, I am just going to start to build up the clusters and sort of lay out the rest of the page how I kind of see it coming together in my head. And so I'm just building out a cluster here to the bottom right of the cookie picture, and then I am going to work on the left side of the page. So most of these bits and pieces, I have some that actually were from my How to Kill a Kit with Style, and then the rest are just some other embellishments that I pulled from my stash. So I am going to do 3 sort of different little embellishment clusters here to the left side of the page, and I am grounding each one of those embellishment clusters with sort of a little Polaroid that came from my printables, as well as some tickets. I'm using those and then layering up on top of those the sort of film reel and then some trees. And now that I'm looking at it, it's been a while since I created this, but looking at it, most of what I have in those embellishment clusters actually came from printables. So I did do a whole lot of fussy cutting on this page, and I really love how it looks. Off camera, I did go ahead and, after my background was dry, I did go ahead and glue everything down. Now I lifted up those photos, which you can't really see, but I lifted those up on some fun foam, as well as each of the embellishment clusters. Those all get lifted up on some foam to again add a little bit of dimension to the page. Now you see me just working on my title, And my title is pretty simple. It's just simply Tastes Like Christmas. And that is definitely some of the things that I think of at Christmas. Is that was a peppermint mocha latte, and then I have the snowman shortbread cookie, two of my favorite things. They definitely taste like Christmas. They're some of my favorites that I get every once in a blue moon at Christmas to kind of treat myself. And so that was a very fitting title, I thought. Now, to finish up my layout, I have these cute little puffy little candy canes. I'm going to put those in each of my embellishment clusters. And then I have some of these enamel dots, I believe, in a teal color that I'm just going to dot those around. And I want to say that I also pull in some, they're kind of like a gold enamel dot, but they're more like a gold bubble, I almost want to say. I'm pretty sure I do add those in here in just a second. But once I have these enamel dots down, and I could be wrong, I might just use 3 colors of these enamel dots. I kind of forget. It looks like I'm just going for the enamel dots, so I apologize. It is enamel dots, 3 in each of my clusters, and with that, it is going to finish up this layout. So here are the still photos, and please remember to check out the links to everyone else who is playing along in the description box below. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.